It's Friday morning. I've recorded the podcast, edited the YouTube video, I haven't finished the TikTok, and I've left. So I need to go drop my bags at this luggage storage which I've booked, and then I need to find a cafe with Wi-Fi and plugs, which in Australia seems impossible. Like in England, I feel like most cafes I'll go into, I'll be able to do that. Wi-Fi I'm not as bothered about, it's the plugs which I really need. So if not, I might try the library, although you might have to like have a library card and be a resident if you want to use like a reading room or a workspace, but I will find that out. And if not, I might beg them, and I might tell them how much I love Canberra, because I need to do work and my laptop will die. So yes, but I'm just going to get the bus to, it's basically at the centre of the city where this bag drop is, so about half an hour on the bus. But yeah. Okay, so I dropped my bags off and I found a cafe called 10 out of 10 cafe, so I'm hoping it's 10 out of 10. Obviously got smashed avocado. I've also just found out that on Fridays buses are free in Canberra, which is incredible, and it's a Friday, and I'm going on like 3 buses today because I got the bus here. I'm going to get the bus to the library, and then I'll get the bus back here, and then I'll get the bus to the airport. So good old free Fridays. I think we need that in the UK. I would like some free travel, please. Obviously I've got avocado toast, which looks amazing, and I got a coffee, which is out of character. That was up there with one of the best brunches I've had in Australia. The avocado toast was amazing. It had like beetroot hummus as well, which was unreal. Also, very importantly, I had a coffee. I haven't had a coffee for, I don't even know the last time I've never ordered a coffee before, I don't think. Like I had a mocha about a year ago. It was literally this time last year, probably this week last year. But I never have coffee, and I kind of liked it, which is the problem, because I feel like at the moment it's okay because I don't like coffee. I don't spend money on coffee, but now maybe I like it. But the good thing is Australian coffee is meant to be like everyone raves about it. Obviously it was good. So probably in the UK, I still won't like the coffee there. So it can just be an Australia thing. But yeah, I'm proud of myself. I'm just stepping outside my comfort zone with that one. I've been so impressed by the buses here. Like that might sound like a weird thing to say, but as someone who's lived in Manchester and Birmingham, like the buses really aren't great there, and they're 2 major cities. But the buses seem so efficient here. Like I guess if you live further out, it's probably not as good. But like so quick. So easy, and also free Fridays, I think that's a new thing. I'm pretty sure, I googled it said around start of December, so obviously quite new, but I think that's great. And all the bus drivers are so jolly. I feel like in the UK, it depends where you go and it depends on the person, but they're not that bothered. But here, every time I get on, hi, how are you doing, how's your day going? And then as I get off, oh, have an amazing day, thanks for travelling on the bus. And I'm like, wow, I feel good about taking the bus. So well done, Canberra. I really like it. Very happy to say that was a great success. Also, I love that the library just has a mountain in the background. This is probably one of the best places to work. You could just go downstairs and there were plugs, and I asked a woman at the desk, she's probably who is this overthinker? I was like, hi, I don't actually live in Australia, but please can I use your library? I don't have a card or anything, but I don't want to read the books, I just want to use a plug socket, thank you. And she was like, yeah, it's fine, just go downstairs. And I was like, oh, okay. So she probably thought I was a bit weird, but I don't really care, I'm never going to say her again. So I did my Afghanistan piece and my third T20 preview, filed that. I found the third T20 hard to preview. I feel like with T20s you kind of run out of stuff to say, and also with England, I've said most of the stuff I want to say, but anyway, I got it done. I sent a lot of emails as well, and yeah, I did some boring stuff, edited the podcast. Yeah, I was in there for just over 2 hours, and to be fair, I got a lot done. I was in focus mode. Although this has happened when I've had coffee before, it makes me really tired. Like, obviously most people use it as like a caffeine thing to wake them up, but a lot of the time when I have caffeine it makes me sleepy, which I don't understand why. Like, it's meant to have the opposite effect, but like I feel like I felt really drowsy. Yeah, weird. Anyway, I'm on my way to Parliament. I actually worked it out, I did it quite well, that because the library's by Parliament, so I came to this side of town, and then the Museum of Australia is the other side of town, which is near where my bags are, and then I go from there to the airport. So I've worked out perfectly for once. But yeah, it is almost 2 o'clock, I think. Yeah, so I'm gonna go walk around Parliament, have a little look, and then I'm booked in for 4 for the museum to go to the Pompeii exhibition. So yeah, it was also $25, which I think is quite decent. That's like $12.50. So I think that's pretty good for like a big old exhibition. So yeah, I say look around Parliament, and yeah, I'm not doing a tour or anything. I'm just gonna walk around myself. I hadn't really thought of this until now, but they're probably gonna check my bag when I go into Parliament for like security. And at the top of my bag are 2 huge pieces of Lebanese bread, and I just want to see their reaction. It's like once, I can't remember where I was flying. I think I was flying to, maybe it was Ireland, or maybe it was the Netherlands. And my airport snack, like my go-to airport snack that I used to always take, was toast. I just put toast in foil because like I'll always be happy to eat toast, and obviously it means I don't have to pay for airport food. And yeah, I got stopped at security. They wanted to search my bag, and they were like, "What's in here?" And I was like, "Toast." And they looked at me as if I'd said like a hamster or something. They were just like, "Why have you got toast?" I was like, it's genius. So I can't wait for the reaction. You're like, yeah, that's just my lunch. This is the first stop on my parliamentary tour. So this is a monument about the Magna Carta. Oh, step inside and it echoes. Right, I'm not going to do that because I don't want everyone to hear my voice. But yeah, so this was gifted, I think, 700 years ago. It was 700 years from the anniversary of the Magna Carta that this was like gifted to Australia by the UK. History lessons with Polly. Yeah, it's very echoey when you step inside. So this is the old Parliament Gardens. I walked through here yesterday, I think it was, yeah, on the way back from my hike up the mountain. So yeah, this is where old Parliament was behind me. And I think this is called like the Senate Garden. So yeah, it's separated into a quadrant, 4 squares. And yeah, there's a rose garden. It's really beautiful, and it's actually sunny today and like blue skies, so it looks really pretty. So in fact, I'm just reading this garden was inspired by England and English landscapes. So what's his name? Rex Hazelwood, I think his name is, yeah, who like designed this. He came to England, and yeah, he fought during the First World War and took inspiration from the landscapes. And also it's said that the English cricket team apparently donated roses to the Rose Garden in 1933 when they visited. So always finding cricket connections. I feel like a tour guide now because I'm learning so much. So the quadrants, 2 of them are a rose garden, and then you've got the tennis court here, and there was a cricket pitch somewhere else as well. But basically when old Parliament shut and they opened the new one on Capitol Hill, this just became completely abandoned and like overgrown, and the tennis court was locked up and stuff. But yeah, they've completely transformed it and it's beautiful. But yeah, in the 1900s, this is where all like the senators and members of Parliament would come and, I don't know, swan around on their lunch break. But yeah, it's really beautiful. It does feel quite English. I feel like I'm in a National Trust property or something. I said the other day, maybe it was yesterday, that everything would look so much more beautiful in the sun, and it does. It is a really nice day, and yeah, I love the white building, and you can see the mountain somewhere, and yeah, it's very peaceful. I'm gonna walk up the hill to Capitol Hill and the new Parliament. Do you know what, if I had like a really big house with a huge garden, I would also put like a flagpole display of just all my favourite flags, like all the best flags in the world, like Seychelles on there, Bosnia and Herzegovina, they have a good flag, yeah, Slovakia, Slovenia, both got nice flags. Anything vaguely interesting, that flag would get on there. I'd have to probably colour coordinate it, but I reckon like that, pretty nice. Okay, this is cool. So you know how yesterday I was talking about Australian of the Year, like Australian of the Year, Young Australian of the Year? There's buses here, and all of them, they've got Australian of the Year, Young Australian, Senior Australian and Local Hero. So I'm thinking, is tonight the 2025 one? Because the 2024 ones were on there, but it hasn't even been 2025 yet. I don't know. But if it is, that's quite cool. I'm gonna do a quick Google. After a quick Google, it's tomorrow night, the award ceremony here. So I'd look, I have no idea who any of the people are, but it's pretty cool. I also love the Local Hero one. I think that's really cool because, yeah, it's not like a celebrity, I don't think, or like someone majorly notable. But yeah, I'm glad I spotted that now. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled to find out who's the Australian of the Year. I've just left Parliament now. That was really interesting. I found it quite funny because I have never been to UK Parliament. I was supposed to go in sixth form, but the trip never happened. I've also been to the EU headquarters in Strasbourg in France, and I've been outside the EU headquarters in Brussels. And I've been now to Australian government buildings, and I've never been to UK Parliament. So yeah, but no, really cool. Like, obviously there was a bit of history about the formation of Parliament, and there was loads on the Magna Carta, because the Magna Carta has actually just been put back in old Parliament. It was being restored since like 2016 or something, so that was quite cool. So I might see if I can go and see the Magna Carta, but then there was also a lot about how government works. A lot of it reminded me of US politics with the branches of government and the Senate and the House of Reps. So I went into the Senate and the House of Representatives and the main meeting room. And yeah, it was quite cool. And then there was a lot about, yeah, like the formation of the Commonwealth. So fascinating stuff, and I feel like I learned a lot. So very good, would recommend. Plus it was also free, so yeah, quite cool. It definitely did feel more like a museum than a Parliament. Like, I imagine if you work there, it's probably a bit weird. But yeah, very nice to see. So the old Parliament, and I think it's called like the Museum of Australian Democracy, is like just on the hill, and it's free entry. So I think I'll pop in there quickly before getting the bus to the Museum of Australia. I feel like very cultured today, but yeah, I obviously wanted to see all this stuff whilst I was here, because I find it very interesting. But yeah, I'm getting a little bit tired. It's quite warm as well, so I might have to have a little cafe stop, or just a little corner shop pit stop, but we'll see. This feels like I'm in someone's house and I'm not meant to be. Like, all these offices and rooms are all set up how they would have looked, which is so cool. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna walk around the corner and like there's gonna be a government official just sat there, from like the 1900s. I can't lie, I did panic when I saw the crown jewels. Then I don't think they're the real ones. If you've ever watched Johnny English, So I would rank the old Parliament like way above the new Parliament. It was so interesting, and I'm kind of sad I have to go to the Museum of Australia now because I wish I'd allocated way more time. Yeah, it was so cool. It literally felt like, well, obviously I was in old Parliament, but it felt exactly like I was just walking, like sneaking around. It was really, really cool. Yeah, the staff was so lovely as well. It was funny at the end, one of the people on the desk said to me, oh, how did you go? And I was like, and then I was like, what did you think? Because people say, how are you going? And I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. It's like in Gavin and Stacey when Nessa says, where to she now? And what's her name? Oh, Sonia, that's her name. Sonia's just like, where to she what? And you're like, how are you going? I'm going well, thanks. But yeah, no, I would highly recommend. Yeah, they also had this big section on like democracy, social change, significant women. So I wish I'd had more time to look around that, but I took some leaflets, as any good museum goer would do. So yes, I will have a read because it was really, really interesting, and also it like went through like every single government in the past. I don't even know how long, like I guess 100 years or so. So yeah, that was very fascinating. But yeah, I am going to walk to the Museum of Australia now. I could get the bus, but it's literally one stop on the bus, so I might as well walk. Yeah, it is roasting. Not complaining though, because I do love the heat. I'll be a little bit late for my slot at the museum, but it's fine. I'm very excited to move from Australia to Pompeii now. Also, there was a clip in there of a toilet door. I wasn't just showing a toilet door, it's actually, I went to the toilet in a very famous toilet. So that toilet was made because, well, it was a men's toilet, but when women were allowed to be part of Parliament, they kind of realised quite quickly all the toilets were men's toilets, and so they turned this one into a women's toilet, and when you went in you could actually see they had like boxed out the urinals, so it was just like cubicle toilets, which I thought was like pretty cool, and they had all these signs up in the toilets talking about the situation. So yeah, that was quite interesting. I also loved that you could actually go into those toilets. Yeah, I saw a lot of toilets and showers in there actually, because in some of like the president room or like the clerk room, they had showers and toilets for when they worked really long nights, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, no, it was really, really cool, and just like set up how it used to be, so it was pretty amazing. Okay, I am literally going there, but I have to go all the way around in a big loop. If only I had a boat, that would have come in quite handy right now. I just finished at the museum. In fact, I actually stayed, it had closed and I didn't realise, and everyone was saying bye to me as I was walking around, and I was like, yeah, like okay, like I'm not leaving yet, and then I realised, oh, it closes at 5. But yeah, Pompeii exhibition was really cool. I found the stuff about excavating and restoration really fascinating, because like the fact that that is people's job is so cool, but also like it's such a high pressure job, because imagine you break it, like with the Tutankhamun head a couple of years ago in the museum in Egypt, like yeah, but also this, because they're excavating like on site, that's, yeah, it's incredible. But also the stuff they can learn, like I remember when there was the discovery of Richard III, one of the best documentaries I've ever watched, and I've watched it about 5 times. It's so, like, it's really good, but it's also quite funny because it's got Simon Farnaby narrating, who's from Horrible Histories and is a comedian, so yeah, he's he's very funny. But like, even with that, the discoveries that you can make about a person from either their skeleton or like where they are and stuff like that. So with this, it's obviously like the layout of houses, but then it's also bodies and like how many people. So there was one room where it was like, yeah, 13 people were huddled in here when the eruption happened, like they were trying to hide and save themselves. But yeah, it was very interesting. Did feel like I was back in year 7 Latin, which is not a negative thing, but I was like, yeah, I do feel like I'm back there. So yeah, Caecilius est in horto. I have just been listening to podcasts actually since I got through the airport. I also had some fish and chips. There were like no food options here. This airport is so small, and there's also no one here. It's like really quiet, but you can see the mountains through the window, so that's quite nice. But yeah, my flight was delayed, like shock horror. I did actually come to the airport later than planned just because I knew my flight would be delayed, so I was like, there's no point. So yeah, but I'm excited to get to Adelaide. Tomorrow I'm going to do park run, and then it's going to be so hot all day. I think I might have a bit of a beach day tomorrow because I feel like I haven't done many chill things. So I'm going to look for a really nice beach in Adelaide. I've heard Brighton Beach is good, but obviously Brighton Adelaide, Brighton UK, I'm gonna have a look. So I'm gonna do some research, and yeah, there is a walk I want to do, but I might save that for like my full day off because obviously I've still got the game tomorrow, so I don't want to be exhausted. I can't believe it's the last white ball game. Mad. Yeah, so the YouTube video also just uploaded. Like, it took so long. I got to the airport and it uploaded. I was like, why did that take ages? But yeah, so in terms of food reviews, fish and chips was quite good, to be fair. It wasn't the best I've had in my life, but as airport food goes, decent. I also had a ginger ale, which is different to a ginger beer. I've never had a ginger ale before. It was quite nice though. And I've still got one piece of the Lebanese bread left. So that is going to come with me on the plane. So that's either going to be a midnight snack or my breakfast. I don't know. Yeah. I'm getting a bit of deja vu from my way here. This is where I rang my dad and I ate a yoghurt as soon as I touched down in Australia, and I still had a couple of hours to go. This is very weird. Yeah, how long ago was that? Like less than 3 weeks. It feels like a year ago, but it also has gone really quickly. Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, I'm just gonna go get my bags, and then I think I'm gonna get an Uber to the Airbnb, just because it's kind of late, so just want to get there.